He wants to be a millionaire. Julian, you want to be a millionaire? What's up, guys? David Abdi over here. For those who don't know me, I'm a real estate agent, real estate investor, developer, and so forth. To elaborate on the thumbnail, I want to give you guys a little bit more background. So I've been in real estate for around 12 years. Since I was 15 years old around, I started in real estate. I was shadowing for the first couple of years, and then when I finally got licensed at 18, I started working in real estate, starting showing apartments, doing rentals, obviously going from there, and always having the goal to get into sales and get into investment. I never knew how to do it. In the beginning, it was very confusing, but slowly as time went on, there was a lot of failures, but obviously without rain, there's no growth. And I got to a place where I was able to close till today over $100 million in deals. And just this year alone, I closed over $50 million in deals, which is around 52 deals this year. Primarily, I work in Brooklyn, Manhattan, Long Island, Queens, and Bronx. I started this channel to give back. Over the years, the past 12 years, I've been learning little keys and cues. I've been learning and failing and trying and failing and trying and failing until I finally got successful. There was a lot of times where there was listings that I just failed how to pitch. There was a lot of times when I had renters where I failed to rent them apartments. There was a lot of times where there was buyers that just didn't trust me. And also, being young in a real estate business is very tough. People always judge you according to your age. You have to overcompensate. You have to do a lot more. You have to show your worth. And people, to give you millions of dollars or to give you their hard-earned safe money, it's a very emotional process for them. And you have to understand that. That's why you have to hold yourself to a high level of professionalism. Now, over the years, I gathered all this knowledge, how to grow, how to make the right moves, how to give my buyers and my sellers the confidence that I'm gonna get the job done. And at that time, I also learned how to invest, how to locate good property, how to calculate what's a good cap rate, how to calculate what's cash on cash flow, net operating income. Over the time, I just kept on honing my skills and getting better. And with that in mind, I got to a place and point in life where I finally started succeeding. My first couple of years, I was barely making $1. Let's be serious. For the first maybe 5 years of my life, I was maybe making in real estate $5,000 to $10,000 a year. And on top of that, I was working multiple jobs. Since I was 12 years old, I was never given anything or handed anything by family and friends. So we came to America when I was 3 years old. When we got to America, we weren't doing very well in life. My family ended up losing everything. It wasn't that I grew up with a dad in real estate and a mom in real estate or an uncle that handed me things. Everything that I wanted to do, I actually grinded for. From a young age, I started with a car wash from the first time, and predictably, I had a lemonade stand as well as a kid, and I just kept on trying to do as much as I can to make ends meet. I remember my neighbors actually, across the block. I would go to them and I would tell them, hey, do you guys have any garbage that you want to throw out? Maybe I can dispose from you, or any CD players or something that you're not using. And I would take that and I would go across the block and do a garage sale to the neighbors across the street. And I would try taking one man's garbage and selling it as another man's gold. As a kid, it wasn't that easy in life. Growing up, I remember when I first started in real estate, I was a busboy at one restaurant. I was a barista at another restaurant. I was working real estate, and then I dropped out at 15 years old, but I went back to college at 19. And when I went to college at 19, I was balancing paying my bills, I was balancing working as a bartender, and I was balancing going to school and working in real estate all at the same time. There was never excuses. I wasn't given the excuses. I remember as a kid, sometimes there wasn't the best times. And I can recall times when we got 3-day notices. I can recall times when there wasn't enough food in the fridge. But one thing that my parents did give me was the mentality and love to understand that I'm a millionaire prior to even being a millionaire. My mom would tell me every day you wake up, act like you have $1 million in your pocket and then go on your day. On top of that, faith guided me through everything. And I'm low-key very thankful for that, because I feel like if I would have grew up with wealth and things handed to me, I might not have learned all the life lessons that were given to me. Now, I know a lot of people are struggling. I know a lot of people have dreams and aspirations. I know a lot of people have goals in their real estate careers or in their life, and they do want to grow. They do want to invest. They want to be successful. They don't want to struggle. And financial freedom is always my goal. And growing up with that tough past actually put me in a future that even when I get $1, I always think about the time that I didn't have $1 to buy a can of soda, when I was thirsty and I just had to work and work and work, and I didn't have that time. So I learned over time. Obviously, I messed up as a kid as well. I spent money when I made a little bit, but I learned how to save. I learned how to invest. And with time, I ended up making connections. And through those connections, I made more connections. And when I satisfied people and I gave people an amazing experience, and I actually sold their units, and I found them an amazing apartment, and I made them happy. And I learned that in everything in life, even in customer service, even in being a barista, even in making an amazing drink, even in being the best waiter. Everything I was doing, there was a competition to be the best, to stand out. And when I took myself out of the pile and I made myself different from everyone, that's when I saw my success in everything that I did. And that's what I take with myself. Be positive in life. Think positive. Every day we wake up, it's a blessing already. Everything else is a plus. We are so blessed to just being healthy, to having the right mindset on our head, to be alive, to have our family. The small little things is a blessing. Everything else is a plus, and never take it up for granted. Also, the goal is never let materialistic things get in your way. Don't think that materialistic things will get you farther in life. You gotta understand, materialistic things, you buy a nice car, you buy a nice, let's say, watch, or you buy a nice phone, or a lot of things will depreciate an asset. There is those few watches, cars, and apartments, and so on, and everything that will appreciate over time. But the main things that do appreciate, it's usually the stock market, and it's usually real estate. And that's where your focus has to be. Because another $1 today in your savings can be another $1 potentially into investments. And understand this, my goal right now is to give you guys the knowledge, but knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. If you guys don't apply the knowledge that I hand to you, and obviously that you learn from different atmospheres, you will never succeed. You can talk the talk, but you need to also walk the walk. So on this channel, we're gonna go through everything. I want you guys to subscribe, like this, comment down below, tell me everything that you guys wanna hear about. Anything that you guys don't understand. There's a lot of things that took me years to learn. For example, what is hard money? For example, how do I buy a property? Do I need a conventional mortgage? How can I apply for a mortgage? Can I get approved? Do I need to show a lot in my taxes? Am I self-employed? What's going on? There's a lot of questions, and I'm here to answer it. And guys, don't forget to follow your goals. Follow your intuition. A lot of people, I promise you, when I first started in real estate, I saw so many people when I first was in an agency. So many people come and start working real estate, and 6 months later, they're no longer in the office. A year later, they're no longer in the office. They gave up. But I always had the bigger picture. I always had the goals. And I thought that one day, the monetary amount will amount to the knowledge that I'm gaining. So the knowledge was continuously going up, but my pockets and my income wasn't going up. At a certain point, my income started rising to the knowledge that I'm rising. By doing things right, focusing, being organized, thinking positive, you can succeed a lot more than you think. And you can create a lot of streams of income that end up helping you in life and also growing you and giving you that financial freedom, that successful mindset. A little bit more background with me. So I was in multiple real estate offices. In the beginning, I was shadowing because I was too young to actually operate in real estate. So I was working for free pretty much, just seeing what people do. And then over time, I started working in real estate and rentals. And then at a certain point, I started working with developers that were doing rentals and sales. I was trying to help them. I got into short sales, tried getting them deals and everything. That wasn't really my aspirations. Then I went back to real estate. I worked in companies such as Heck Group, GZ Brokers, a lot of companies that you guys might know of, such as Keller Williams, Douglas Elliman, and so forth. From there, I just kept on learning and learning and learning. Over time, I finally got with a big team. That team actually took me under me and the honest truth was I wasn't making too much money with them, but I was getting a lot of exposures, a lot of connections. I was taking every single open house that they had. Any showing, I would be the first one to volunteer because I knew that I might meet some buyers. I knew that I'm gonna get experience. I knew that I'm gonna grow and I'm gonna learn every time I go. And same thing, I just kept on going and going and going and learning. And at a certain point, we went through a struggle with the family where I really needed the income to help my family out survive. And there was this amazing guy that did a lot of developments that offered me a job with him. And I'm here to reveal you guys everything. He offered me a job. In the beginning, he was paying me not too much. It was around, well, not too much relative to the work that I was doing. Obviously, it's a blessing. But I was making $50,000 a year. And then he promised me that after 2 months, he'll up it to $65,000, which was a big jump. Me as a kid that never made that type of money said, oh my God, I'm taking it. Now, I worked so hard, 18-hour days. I learned so much about new development, but I didn't know anything about it. I was a real estate agent, broker that worked in the field. I didn't know too much about real estate, about new development, about condo books, about department of buildings, about tax lots, about declarations. These words were gibberish to me. At a certain point, I actually asked him, why did you hire me? I don't know these things. And he said, I see potential in you. It's either sink or swim. And I decided I'm gonna swim just like I swam all my life. And I just kept on learning, kept on learning. And within 6 months, I was managing the firm. I was designing all the new property. I was starting to sell all the property. And at a certain point, I decided I don't need the salary anymore. I took a step aside and I said, I'm gonna go on my own. And when I went on my own, he loved me so much in the way I was working that he ended up listing with me every single building, new development and property that he did. And then at the end of the day, I ended up closing close to $35 million in property just for this developer. Now what that did, that opened me a lot of room. So I started understanding that I need to market differently. Every broker was doing very traditional marketing. They weren't investing in virtual stage, in high-end virtual staging, or in staging apartments. That I decided to take it to a different level. I actually started buying furniture, started investing in the properties. And yes, I did lose a couple of furniture along the way. I did lose a lot of money along the way. There was listings that were taken away from me. Not everything was golden, not everything was big. And along the way, I learned and I saved and I grew and my name grew. And once my name grew, people wanted to work with me because I just had a different type of working, a different type of method, a different type of attitude. I was willing to take a risk. I was willing to invest myself into their properties. And when they saw that I'm participating in the risk with them, they just trusted me with everything. Now, from learning the new development and working for a developer, but also working in the real estate game, that gave me a competitive advantage into investing into property. I knew how to locate and find good deals. On top of that, I knew what clients want, but I knew what is also good with developers, which helped me working with architects and engineers the right way. And I went from there to build properties which fairly sold pretty quick, and also help developers, give them an extra help where I can sit down with them and tell them, hey, listen, you're building a new building, pause. Let's wait right now. Don't hire me when the building is finished. Hire me prior to the building is finished. Let's go over floor plans. Let's go over design. Let's go over everything. I can give all the feedback that I have from the clients. I can save you money in certain areas, and I can also change the layouts and designs to what people are more looking for in the market now. And that gave me a competitive advantage. Over time, I realized that there's a lot of places to get that competitive advantage, whether it's the way you market, the way you tease a listing before you go to the market, the way you price certain units, maybe certain numbers won't work, maybe different types of number, the way you talk to developers, the way you talk to buyers, the way you go about everything in your life. It's a lifestyle. And once you get the lifestyle in check and you find ways to take your job, you're hired for one thing. You can do that one thing. And it's all good said and done. You'll get paid for it, it's over. Or you can overgive and overdo it, and then you can literally create yourself your own lane in the market. You are a brand. And that's what we're doing now. It's important to build the brand, and especially in a day and in a place where there's so much competition. There's a million brokers out there. There's hundreds of thousands of developers out there. How do you make yourself different? What makes them want to work with you and not with someone else? Because there's a lot of amazing people too in the field, incredible people. And that's the goal of this channel. It's to give you insight into investing, give you insight into lending, give you insight into being the best person you can be, to live a great lifestyle, to have a great mentality, to appreciate all you have, but also to grow in many different areas. We're gonna cover so much, and I can't wait for you guys to get on this journey. Comment below what you guys want to see, subscribe, smash that like button, and let's get this on a roll. Hi guys.